Week 2 at the Canada Winter Games in Red Deer, Alberta. Women's hockey prelim action underway. Team Alberta getting set to take on Team Nova Scotia in Pool B action as we welcome you inside the TSN studios, day 9 of the Canada Games, and we kick things off with women's hockey. Now, at this tournament in years previous is where we've learned names such as Haley Wickenheiser and Natalie Spooner. So the girls you see today are the future of the Women's Foundation when it comes to the hockey landscape. Other action today: figure skating, alpine skiing, badminton, as well as gymnastics. But let's get you to some curling highlights. Men's side first, draw 3, sheet 5. Team BC taking on Team Nova Scotia, and BC runs their own back, taps the yellow, scoring the one, and it would take it 6-5 your final there. And then up next was Team Newfoundland taking on Team New Brunswick, draw 3, sheet 3. Newfoundland with the hammer. Check the takeout. Pretty well played, stopping New Brunswick 9-3. Over to the women's side we go. Draw 3, sheet 2. Team Newfoundland taking on New Brunswick. Another tight one here. Newfoundland lays in the Blue Rock for 2, taking it 8-7 your final. And the Canada Winter Games continues tomorrow with women's curling action. Nova Scotia taking on Ontario. We've got the coverage for you starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on TSN 5. A women's 7.5-kilometer cross-country skiing final. It's a pretty cold day in Red Deer with temperatures dropping to -30, -35 with the wind chill. And the weather, though, not affecting your winner. Laura Leclerc of Quebec, who pretty much led wire to wire. She took gold, followed by BC and Alberta. Let's hear from her on capturing
Canada
gold.
Games was just coming here for the experience, well, just for fun. But yeah, definitely a gold medal is pretty good for my career. It's been really cool to be with other people from Quebec that I don't usually train with and hang out with. So very nice, and nice to see all the different provinces and see other cross-country skiers have supper with them and lunch with them.
And coming up, Pool B action. Team Alberta taking on Nova Scotia right on TSN 3 to get us all set up for tonight's action. Let's go to Dustin Nielsen and Blair Turnbull.
As we turn our focus to the women's tournament here at the Canada Games, you're going to want to familiarize yourself with a lot of these names because, Blair, this is where the women's national team really gets started, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, there's a ton of national team players who have previously played in the Canada Games, myself included. And like I said, there's a ton of girls who played here in the Canada Games, and it's a really good stepping stone to get involved in the U18 national program, as well as to get recognized and get involved with the senior program as well.
Yeah, and one of the things for a lot of these girls, this will be a huge opportunity for them on this kind of national stage, but for many of them, they've already had that opportunity in the Esso Cup.
Yeah, that's right. The Esso Cup is another major national tournament where you're representing your club team. So a little different, as tonight they're representing their provinces, and Alberta gets to play in front of a home crowd. They're expecting a lot of family and friends to be in attendance. So it's a really big game for Alberta as well as Team Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's a very big game for both of these teams as they both lost their openers on Sunday. So they'll be looking to get into the win column as they battle for possibly third spot in the pool. It is Nova Scotia versus the host Alberta here, coming up from the Canada Games in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Plastic is a valuable resource, not to be discarded. Put it to better use. Kindly recycle while enjoying the games. By MNP, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. By Navigator, when you can't afford to lose. By the City of Red Deer, it's in the spirit of sport. It's here. It's Red Deer. By the Look Company, building sport and event environments that are always engaging. The proud branding partner of the 2019 Canada Games.
Coverage of curling on TSN continues this Friday with Tim Hortons Briar live from Brandon, Manitoba, as the country's top men's curling teams battle under one roof in pursuit of the most famous trophy in curling. Coverage begins with the wildcard game at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN 1 and 4. Team Alberta taking on Team Nova Scotia. Let's head back down to the Centurion.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the Centurium in Red Deer as TSN turns our focus from men's hockey, which wrapped up last week, to the women's side of the tournament here at the Canada Games. And we have a Team Alberta taking on Team Nova Scotia. A look at Caroline Gosling out of Calgary. And Blair, you actually coach Caroline, so you're very familiar with what she's going to bring to the table. Yeah, Gosling's a great goalie. She's shorter than most goaltenders, but she's quite the athlete. She's very feisty, very competitive. It's really hard to score on her on the first shot. And at the other end of the ice, Maddie Beck, 17-year-old, will be between the pipes for Nova Scotia here today, part of the under-19 program for Canada. So one to watch between the pipes. Both of these teams needing a victory here. Nova Scotia coming off a 5-1 loss to Ontario, Alberta, a 6-1 loss to British Columbia. And we are underway at the Centurium as that puck will come back and now be played up the board. Stopped there by Madeleine Walsh, turned over, and now this will be brought in here. Shot, first save of the game. Maddie Beck steers that to the corner with her blocker. And now the puck will be picked up in behind the goal and moved up the near boards here for Burbage. That's taken away. And on the far side, an opportunity to get that puck deep and head off on a quick change. And Blair, a nice save here early in the game for Beck. Help her settle in a little bit. Yeah, it's a great blocker save by Beck. Team Alberta with the first rush of the game, expecting them to keep the pressure on Team Nova Scotia, but Nova Scotia's going to fight hard. And now in behind the net. This is controlled off the side of the goal. That bounces back towards the point. Settled down there by Thornhill. Thornhill tried to center it, broken up and controlled by Markowski. And Markowski will flip it high, out and down the ice. Possible 2-on-1 here if they can get to that puck. This is Janes into the corner for Alberta. She will get some help from Bentonall. Bentonall tried to center it out front. A second crack at it here. Janes with a shot, trying to go short side on Maddie Beck, who stopped Serdachny earlier here. And Blair, we're going to get another look at it on the replay. You'll see that's a great save as it's a shot through a screen by a very skilled player. She's looking to go high blocker, so it's a tough save to make on your first shot of the game. So hopefully Beck continues to have a great game. And nice job there by Serdachny using the defensive as a screen, and now it'll be played ahead here. Weiss moves it ahead. That misses the intended target of Joma, and now it'll be played back into Alberta territory. Ashley Penny got a stick on it. Now Penny's going to track it down in the corner, knocks it in behind the goal. O'Neill trying to give chase. LaPlante moves it up, and now it'll be brought away through the neutral zone here by Brooklyn Schroeder. Schroeder will knock it into the corner. Weiss first on it here for Alberta. Bopped over her stick. It will be controlled by O'Neill now for Nova Scotia. In behind the goal, a little bit of pressure here from Alberta. Moving in there in the forecheck, Peyton Lombach. And now it'll come to the blue line and out to the neutral zone, played ahead. And they'll get the zone all by herself there, though. And that was not controlled. Now it comes back to the point. And Alberta will take over. Ingles moves it ahead. Clean pass there. Now a look on the far side. That's deflected by an active stick there of Kyla Bent. Bent now continuing to battle for this puck. Gets a little bit of help from Allen. And now it'll be an opportunity to skate away here for Bent. Long pass ahead. That's a great look. Opportunity in, and an early save there from Gosling. A beautiful pass up as they got in behind the defense. That was an excellent look. That's a great stretch pass by Kyla Bent. It's a very nice save by Caitlin Gosling. Ellen Lawrence with an excellent opportunity and a nice save there from Gosling. So both goaltenders making pretty big saves here in the early going of this game as teams exchange chances. We're 3 minutes in. Shots are 2 apiece here. Nova Scotia and Alberta at the Centurium, day 2 of action in women's hockey. And it'll be brought in over the blue line by Garnett. That slides down into the corner. Nova Scotia here, Garnett again. Play it back up to the point for McLean. McLean walks in. McLean's going to take it in behind the goal. No option back at the point, and that's where she's going to retreat. Now dishes it off left side. Garnett sends it towards the goal, deflected there, and they score! Banging home the rebound, Cara McLean, and Nova Scotia on the board early.
That's a huge power play goal by Team Nova Scotia. I don't think they were very successful in their power play yesterday, so for them to get a go-ahead goal early in the game, that'll give them some momentum.
And a good job as the deflection comes in, and Gosling made the first save, which was a pretty good save on the redirect, and then the rebound right there for McLean, and she's able to put it home, and she is excited on the bench. And Nova Scotia, a nice start here against the host from Alberta. Shots are 4-2, and Nova Scotia has a 1-0 lead. They'll try to build on it here. Of course, Alberta will be looking for a bounce back. Shorter plays it ahead. Lajoie trying to skate onto that. She moves well, and it'll come back around here to Burbage. McNeil drops it back. Now they'll move it ahead to Hill. Hill gets a little bit of help, chops it in over the blue line. Controlled there by Lajoie. Now it's going to come back around to Tews, and Tews will move it up the right wing side. Now towards the blue line, not out, kept in. James is going to have another opportunity to skate it. She'll get to center. Line change here for Alberta, so she'll try to dump it in and then head off on a line change herself. Weiss came busting in there, could not get a stick on that puck. It's back out to the neutral zone. Nova Scotia will break it up, and now it'll be played down the ice by Tiffany Hill. That slides in on the netminder, and no pressure here from Nova Scotia, so an opportunity for Alberta to move it back ahead. Joma tips it up the board, wants to chase in after it. Back there on it is Gray, but Alberta will get it back to the point for Ingles. Ingles tries to knock it down into the corner. It's going to come back towards Ingles again. This time Nova Scotia will get a stick on it, and Ashley Penny knocks it out to the neutral zone. Now Joma, far side, trying to get the zone again. Good pace here through the first 5 minutes of this game, with Nova Scotia leading 1-0. The goal, McLean from Garnett and Smith at 3:29. Now inside the blue line. Nice little drag there to control the puck from Jordan Mortlock. Mortlock moves it ahead. That'll be chopped in, and Bree Kennedy will chase in after it. Good pressure there by Kennedy. Pops it loose to Craig. Craig in the corner now, reverses it in behind the goal. The first on is there is Penny. Tried to reverse it back in the other way, and that'll come up the left wing boards and eventually chopped out to the neutral zone. We've gone quite a while here without a stoppage. Now a turnover. They'll come back in over the blue line. Centered, and that was broken up neatly there by Craig. But down into the corner. Duggan will control, has it knocked off of her stick, sliding in there with Smith, and Duggan will grab it in the neutral zone. And Blair, excellent pace here, no stoppages. Both teams skating very well. Yeah, both teams are really on the ball tonight. I think they got their first game jitters out yesterday, and they're both skating really fast with really quick transitions. Here's Wasnovich, tried to go all the way, and she burst right through the crease and put that one just wide, glove side. One of the better opportunities here for Alberta so far in the hockey game. Now this puck will be flipped up and down the ice. There'll be a race for it. Ingles first on it here for Alberta. She'll swoop around behind the goal. Now forced back there on some pressure from Lawrence. We've gone 3 minutes without a whistle. Maybe get one here as that puck's down the ice, and that will go for icing. 6.5 minutes gone. One McLean sister starts this play. The other one finishes it as Nova Scotia has a 1-0 lead with 13:22 remaining here in the first period. Pretty good puck movement actually in this one to eventually get the shot on goal. Yeah, it's a great play all around. When you're on the power play on a big ice surface like the one they're on tonight, a great way to get past the penalty kill is to spread them out to create passing lanes and lanes to the net, and that's exactly what happened. Now it'll be brought ahead, and that one's going to be caught on an offside, and we'll get a stoppage here in the first period. It is Nova Scotia drawing first blood against the host Alberta. McLean getting them on the board. Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. There's a look at Kirk Tomlinson, head coach for Nova Scotia. His team's got a 1-0 lead, and Blair, you did have a chance to chat with him a little bit before the game. What was his mindset heading into this one?
Well, Team Nova Scotia is really focused on their defensive game. They're going to be a little bit more passive in the offensive zone and the neutral zone, but they're looking to attack off of turnovers and to attack off of transitions, and I think that's what we're seeing here so far tonight.
They were in on that one there as it bounced off the end boards right back to Gosling, who will hang on. She made a huge save early in this game, and there's a look at our other coach who you are very familiar with. Tell us about that relationship.
Yeah, I have the pleasure of coaching with Carla McLeod at Edge School in Calgary, and I know the girls on the Edge Prep team and the girls here for Team Alberta are definitely enjoying their time being coached by Carla. She's making sure everybody gets some experience so that they're ready when it's crunch time, and I know they're all enjoying themselves and really soaking it all in.
And 4 girls from the Edge program here on Team Alberta?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So very familiar with them. And now there'll be a battle in behind the goal. And eventually it'll be scooped up here by Nova Scotia and a little bit of room to wheel. They'll throw that puck up the left side. And now it'll be chipped down the ice by the captain, Maggie Burbage. Far side, can they keep it in? Adams gets there. Tried to move it down low, but it'll be broken up and moved in behind the net now, and an opportunity for Twos to move it ahead, and that's a nice pass. Throws it ahead, an opportunity for Weiss, walking in, backhander, and that's a big save once again early from Maddie Beck, and you can see why she's on the radar with Hockey Canada early, can't you, Blair?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another great save by the goaltender. And you can tell she's played in some big games, and to be focused and ready to make breakaway saves like that, you know she's a gamer.
Nice drive to the net there from Weiss. Unable to finish on the pad save by Maddie Beck. Now Nova Scotia just outside the blue line with a 1-0 lead. They'll play this in. That's Madison Gray. And it'll be reversed here to Alexandria Spence. Long pass ahead. And that is broken up and brought back in by Gray. This one's going to be blown down on the outside as Ashley Penny a step ahead. Now here's another look at what was a beautiful save on Weiss.
You'll see Weiss come down the right wing side with a lot of speed there, and as the goalie, I think it's pretty hard to tell what move the forward or the offensive player is going to make, so to make a nice sliding save like that, I'm sure that keeps you in the game.
The way she was positioned with that puck, she had a lot of options.
Yeah.
As she came in, did a good job using her leg to protect the puck as well. And now Alberta back in on the attack. And that puck just trickled past the defender who is moving in from the point. It'll be picked up and brought back the other way by Penny. Penny gets the blue line onside, had it knocked away. And now Craig will bring it back ahead. But Haley Craig knocked down there, and Nova Scotia will knock it back in. This is Denny on the far side. Tried to send one towards the net. That was broken up. And now it'll be skated out of trouble by LaPlante by herself as the rest of her team heads off in a change. So she'll send it in, and now she'll actually give chase, and that forces a turnover, and in front, a great opportunity. And that one unable to be put on goal, knocked just wide off the stick of LaPlante. Might not get a better look than that one for the defender, as Alberta has definitely had some chances here. For a team that's down 1-0, they're actually playing pretty well, aren't they?
Yeah, Alberta's looked really good so far. I think their puck movement's really great. I find they're supporting each other really well, and they're definitely getting their chances to score.
Twos flips it ahead. That's going to take a bounce. An opportunity here. They catch up to it, and another save by Maddie Beck. This time she stopped Sarah Woznovich, who got in all alone, and it's all Maddie Beck in the early going.
2 unbelievable saves by Maddie Beck to keep Team Nova Scotia ahead by 1.
And she didn't need to make a save there, but she definitely needed to make a save there. And at some point you realize maybe you don't go backhand blocker side on Maddie Beck, because she's made 3 really good saves. Almost identical looks. Now here's an opportunity as they drive towards the goal, and there's a huge save at the other end as Gosling got her paddle down right along the line. It looked like that puck may have bounced in if she didn't get a stick on it. So she responds at the other end, and goaltending on display here very nicely so far.
Yeah, both goalies have been tested so far, that's for sure. And another great save there by Team Alberta.
She did a very nice job getting back with the glove, too, to cover it up, because Nova Scotia was crashing the crease. And big save there from the Alberta netminder. Nova Scotia controls. That one broken up, and Weiss will bring it back the other way. Tosses it ahead. Gets it back. Here's Weiss. Sends it towards the goal, and The deflection, they were trying to find Betnall driving towards the crease, but she could not get a stick on it. Alberta will control. Mortlock ahead. That's off of a stick down the ice. There'll be a race for it here. Betnall on it for Alberta. Takes it up high. Now drops it back. Ingles with a shot deflected, and they score. It looked like Aaliyah Joma at the edge of the crease managed to get a stick on it. We're tied at 1. Yes, she did. That's pretty good hand-eye as Ingles put that puck up pretty high. And Joma did a good job batting it down and keeping it in the direction of the net.
Yeah, that's a really great tip. I think that's one way that they're going to beat the Nova Scotia goaltender tonight. They're going to have to get bodies in front of the net, and they're going to have to redirect pucks.
We are
exactly what happened there.
We are tied at 1. Shots are 5 apiece. Over 10 minutes gone here in the first. And Maddie Beck had been terrific in net so far for Nova Scotia, but no chance on that one. A redirect off of a puck that was about 3.5 feet high. And now here's a turnover, and that one's going to be batted down in behind the net. Laznovich on it there for Alberta. Back to the point here. Controlled, sent towards the net, another deflection, and Beck would not be beaten again. And she got down and closed the door on that one, but Alberta sensing an opportunity here after tying the game at 1. More pressure, Kennedy in the corner. Watched closely here by Hill. And they'll battle in the corner to the right of Beck. The officials here yelling at them to move it, and eventually they will. Nova Scotia comes away with it cleanly to the blue line. Not out. Kept in there by Markowski. Markowski sends it off the side of the goal. And Beck will not mess around with that one. She hangs on, gobbles up the rebound. As Markowski, not a bad idea, put that on net when she was by herself. So we get another look at some of the work here from Beck. Not going to be fooled by the deflection that time, Blair.
Not that time, nope.
Pretty good deflection, though.
Yeah, Team Alberta seems to be trying a few more of those, trying to get more offensive opportunities.
Now back here, Markowski. Moves it up the glass to the blue line, and now out a 2-on-1 here, shaping up. This is Serdachny. Serdachny gonna keep it off the bar. The rebound bounces off of her into the corner. A wicked shot there from Danielle Serdachny. Could not beat the post, though. Now another shot through, and traffic in front, obviously a key here for Alberta. As that puck hit a body, bounce into the corner, now will be brought away by Ella McLean. McLean skates it ahead, gets to center, wants to flip it in. And going back to get it here is Mortlock. Plays it into the corner for Markowski. Calmly ahead. First pass behind the intended target, but a good effort to hop onto it. Now here's another opportunity. Walking in, and another save from Beck. This time she got the left pad down to rob Lindsay James, as Alberta has had 3 or 4 point-blank opportunities. And if not for Maddie Beck, Blair, this game might be 3 or 4-1 right now.
Yeah, I would say out of Alberta's 7 shots, 4 or 5 of them have been grade A scoring chances. So Team Nova Scotia must be very thankful for their goalie right about now.
Now a battle along the boards. This will come back to Ingles, who chops it ahead. That was almost given away just inside the blue line. And now it'll be kicked ahead, stripped there. An opportunity for the goal scorer. Joma moves in, takes a feed, gets it back. And that one will bounce off the side of the net. I think it was almost knocked in by Nova Scotia, but Beck managed to get a pad down on that, as it will now be played out to the neutral zone, settled down there by twos. And they'll bring it back in onside, a battle just inside the blue line in front of that Nova Scotia bench. And the puck, as you heard the official say, it was loose. It'll pop out to LaPlante, who sends it down in behind the net. Controlled there by Nova Scotia. Fired ahead up the near boards. Garnett couldn't control it cleanly. They're going to get another crack at it here. Smith knocks it back in behind the goal for Walsh. Walsh now wants to clear the zone. Off the glass, off a stick, and out to the Alberta blue line. But Alberta wants to bring it back in. Weiss stood up that time. And now that puck will be sent down the ice with 6:11 remaining here in the opening period. Serdachny, an excellent opportunity. And a big part of this team, a big part of the under-19 team for Canada. A player to definitely watch here for all Canadian hockey fans.
Yeah, I think anyone who followed the U18 Worlds Tournament knows how good she is and how good she can be. So definitely going to be following her throughout this tournament and throughout the rest of her hockey career.
One of 3 members on this Albertan squad who were on Team Canada for the recent World Championships. And now to be played out, Serdachny actually had a goal and an assist, I believe, against the Americans in the gold medal game there. As this one will be played down the ice. That's going to roll in. And Gosling watching on there with McLean coming in. She will hang on for the whistle as Alberta, peppering back, finally breaks through. We're tied at 1 in Red Deer. Well, a look at a star of our game so far, Maddie Beck. She has been terrific and tested in a number of different ways, Blair.
Yeah, Maddie Beck has absolutely kept Team Nova Scotia in this game so far. I think she's already faced 4 breakaways, and we're only 15 minutes into the first period. So, like I said, Team Nova Scotia is heavily relying on their goaltender right now, and she's done a great job for them.
There's another shot, this one from Lawrence. And it's knocked into the corner. Dustin Nielsen, Blair Turnbull with you here at the Centurium in Red Deer. Day 2 of women's hockey action. Both these teams losing on Sunday, needing a win here, and off to a pretty good start. Lazovic down into the corner. Keeps it alive. Tries to reverse it. That's going to be picked off and controlled here by Nova Scotia, but Alberta with some relentless pressure down there. And Nova Scotia has to retreat in behind their own net, and now it's going to be turned over. Diving effort by Lazovic, but it was broken up, and an opportunity to come back in now for LaPlante. LaPlante with a shot, and that save kicked out there by Beck. Picked up and moved ahead, and now Nova Scotia's pass a little bit behind the intended target, but they'll pick it up. It's knocked away by Markowski into the corner, and now onto the stick here of Lindsay James. James is going to go for a skate. Plays it ahead to Lajoie. On the backhand, centered it out front. James couldn't get a stick on it. She'll keep it in though. Thrown across, and a good look there for Schroeder. Tried to one-time it, a little bit of an awkward angle and couldn't get all of it. Now sent through. Beck got a pat on that. She sees the puck extremely well from the point. And it'll be brought back ahead by Nova Scotia's captain, Maggie Burbridge, but broken up at the blue line. Now Adam drops it off. Gets it back here, and they'll skate it in onside. Over the blue line, down and behind the goal. For Stephanie Markowski takes over, gives it away though. Gets some good puck support as that puck will slide into the corner. Now moved around, back to the point. Shot coming, deflected, still laying there, and eventually knocked into the corner, where Joma will skate onto it and move it ahead. Schroeder drops it back. Looks like she wants to head off on a change, and now she will. But Joma, an opportunity for her second, and this one denied by Beck. Nets off, penalty coming up, and it will be a power play for Alberta, their first of the game, with 3:38 remaining here in the opening period.
Successful power play here for Team Alberta would really give them a lot of momentum heading into the second period. And I think their goal here will try to get lots of shots and bodies in front of the net, looking for tips and screens.
A diving effort by Madeleine Walsh, taking away a scoring opportunity. So a power play for Alberta. 0 for 3 in the tournament so far. Joma gives it away, and that'll be knocked out down the ice. Toews goes back for it here. Puts on the brakes behind her own net. Now moves it ahead. Lazovic back to Toews. Almost gave it away, but resets things at the blue line. And now moves it ahead to Ingles. Ingles skates it away, gains the zone. Takes it down into the corner. Now drops it back up to the point. Lazovic throws it across here to Markowski, who moved it quickly. Ends up in the high slot. Maybe a shot coming here. It's poked away. Another one fired in. That's going to be blocked. I think it was McLean that got in front of that one and then eventually sent down the ice by a teammate. Goslin comes out, moves it ahead. Weiss with a big collision just inside the blue line. Nice hands here by Joma as she tried to walk in. Dangled one defender, but not the second. Now Serdachny drops it back. Shot through, and I don't know how Beck saw that one, but she got it in her glove, and pretty good job on the traffic in front there, wasn't it, Blair?
Yeah, it's a great job by both teams, actually. Team Alberta getting their screen, but also Team Nova Scotia getting their defender in there to push the screen out of the way, allowing Maddie Beck to see that shot.
It looked like it was Weiss right in front, trying to create some issues for Beck, but she saw through it. Now here's a shot. That's going to be blocked, picked up, and fired down the ice by Pitts for Nova Scotia. And that will force Stephanie Markowski back to pick it up with 30 seconds remaining here in Alberta's first power play of the game. Serdachny, she can wheel. She'll get the blue line now, trying to cut wide. Takes it down and behind the goal, throws it back out front. And that shot hit Weiss, who had fallen down right in front of the net, but very impressive setup there by Serdachny.
Yeah, it's a great play, and as we said earlier, she's a playmaker, and she's someone who can be a game changer for Team Alberta.
Definitely looked like it on that play as this power play is set to expire. Madeleine Walsh ready to step out of the penalty box, and Alberta's power play comes up empty now, 0 for 4 in the tournament. Played ahead. This will be brought in onside. Bogdan drops it off. Shot coming wide. Blocker side. Nova Scotia controlled momentarily. Now it's knocked away from McLean. Down into the corner. She'll be tied up down low there by Craig. Shots are 12-5 here in favor of Alberta, as things have really picked up in their favor since they got the tying marker. Now a shot from the point. Off the leg of Garnett. Bounces into the corner, but the hosts will control. Now off the sidewall. Back up top. Ingles with a shot. That one off the post, as it looked like they may have got a piece of that on the way in. Now O'Neill with a chance to relieve the pressure, and that's exactly what she will do with 51.3 seconds remaining here. Here's a look at that last scoring opportunity for Alberta. And Blair, this was a close call.
Yeah, it looks like right off Beck's blocker right into the post. So post and crossbar are goalie's best friend, and that's a great example of that.
And the traffic once again in front. Alberta is throwing a ton of bodies here in front of Beck. Shots are now 13-5. Nova Scotia opened the scoring. Here's another opportunity for Alberta. That one blockered away by Beck as well. Back to the points. Tried to load and fire there. Plante couldn't get it done though. Now it's going to bounce into the corner. Serdachny on it here for Alberta. Nice little drop pass. Plante tried to send one towards the net. That was blocked with 20 seconds remaining here in the period. It'll be knocked into the corner. Serdachny scoops it up again for Alberta. Walks off the wall. Serdachny found a defenseman pinching down, but that was broken up. They will maintain possession. Shot coming here. Good job by Beck to stay on her feet. Steer that one into the corner, and a penalty now against Alberta with the hit in the corner, which means it'll be a power play to start the second period with just 1.9 seconds left as Jaden Bogdan will head to the box. Something to build on if you're Nova Scotia, who's been hemmed in here quite a bit. And odds are they don't score in 1.9 seconds, but it'd be nice to have a power play to start period number 2.
Yeah, that's right. They'll have almost a full 2 minutes to start the second period, and they were successful in their last power play, so they're looking to do the same thing here.
Now it'll slide into the corner, and we are tied at 1. And Blair, would you say Nova Scotia's lucky to be tied at 1 right now?
I think they're very lucky to be tied at 1. I think Team Nova Scotia had a great start. They got up by 1 on the power play, but then Team Alberta came back fighting hard, and they got some momentum with a lot of their breakaways and a lot of their offensive chances. And despite not scoring on all of them, it creates momentum and gives them confidence moving forward.
It was McLean to open the scoring for Nova Scotia, but Alberta bounced back with a redirect from Joma, and we are tied at 1 through 20 minutes in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Nova invests heavily in communities where we live and work. Sustainability is a team effort. Thank you for letting us be a part of the team. By Shaw, the official telecommunications provider of the Canada Games. By Winmar Restoration, offering complete residential and commercial property restoration services with 24-hour emergency service and a response time that can't be beat. By Nosac Food Group, serving Central Alberta for over 36 years. And by ATB. ATB is proud of you, Alberta, and proud to support the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
Tied up at 1 apiece between Team Alberta and Team Nova Scotia. As we welcome you back inside the TSN studios for first intermission. I'm Kayla Gray. Well, both teams hoping to bounce back after they dropped their games in the first game of their tournament big. We'll get back to the Centrium for second period action in just a few moments, but let's get you to some curling from earlier today. Men's side, draw 3, sheet 5, Team BC taking on Team Nova Scotia. BC runs their own back, taps the yellow, scoring the 1, and would take it 6-5 your final. Well, then it was Team Newfoundland taking on Team New Brunswick. Draw 3, sheet 3. Newfoundland with the hammer. And they would take it as well. All right, to the men's curling we go now. Draw 3, sheet 9. Team Ontario up against Team Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan making a late push, scoring 2 in the 7th end. But it wasn't enough as Ontario wins it 5-4 your final. And of course, we've got curling coming up for you. Team Nova Scotia taking on Team Ontario. That's Tuesday, TSN 5, 10 p.m. Eastern time to get you all set up for that action. Let's go to Paul Hollingsworth.
Thank you so much. We're excited as TSN's coverage of the 2019 Canada Winter Games continues. Women's curling in the spotlight on Tuesday. Our broadcast team will include the Nedowins, Heather Nedowin, 2-time Scotties champion, David Nedowin, 3-time world champion, 4-time Brier. Impressive resumes, great perspective for us to look ahead to this event. Showcase the event for us, if you will, from a talent level. How good are these curlers? What can we expect in this curling tournament?
Well, the first thing I noticed, I've only been here for a day and a half now and watched 2 draws, is that these kids, they're athletes. I mean, from top to bottom, you look at them in terms of their ability to sweep and throw big weight and think the game. Like, this is a really impressive group of athletes that are here, and that's the first thing that stands out to me.
Heather?
I really liked the way they were responding to the crowds. Like, it is really noisy here. Day 1, they were sold out, and the kids were responding well with the communication and being able to handle the crowds and make those shots. It's really impressive to see at this age.
And Heather, our feature matchup on Tuesday will be Nova Scotia versus Ontario on women's curling. What do we know about them? What can we expect?
I had an opportunity to watch them, Ontario. They were right beside on sheet 2 on opening day. They're going to be on sheet 11 again, right beside the crowd. Again, their communication was really solid. Some great sweepers, very impressive. But Nova Scotia, like, their crowd is with them. They're making some big shots. It's really nice to see these tight games.
David?
Yeah, I think Nova Scotia is really carrying on the junior tradition that they have right now of some really, really top-level players coming out of there. I watched a little bit of both teams. They're both very aggressive. They're putting pressure on other teams and forcing them to make shots. And I think we have 2 very similar style teams playing tomorrow, so it should be an exciting game.
And again, a question to you both. David, to start with you. We hear so often from a Canada Games perspective that these are future Olympic athletes, future professional athletes. Well, from a curling standpoint, these young curlers are on this stage with bigger dreams and bigger stages ahead, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a good chance to talk with people like Mark Kennedy and Rachel Homan about their experiences at the Canada Winter Games, and they talk all the time about how it's played such an important role in getting ready for the big events that they've been in. And I know for myself, when I went to my first Brier, it was our first national championship I had attended, and I was like starry-eyed, eyes wide open. I had no idea what to expect. And here we have, kids from 13 to 18 years old playing in a national event in front of the cameras, in front of big crowds that are noisy. So it's such a great experience for them. They're going to remember it for the rest of their lives.
Heather?
And just the fun, the excitement, getting to, swap stuff with other teammates, and the swag. It's so proud. You're so proud to wear their outfits and their colors. It's fun.
I don't care how old you are, we always love the swag. Week 2 well underway in Red Deer, Alberta. TSN's coverage of the 2019 Canada Games continues on Tuesday. Feature matchup, Nova Scotia versus Ontario in women's curling.
First intermission coverage continues. We catch up with Danielle Serjakny between periods. Well, we're tied up at 1 between Team Alberta and Team Nova Scotia. In Pool B, preliminary action between periods. Our Dustin Nielsen caught up with Danielle Serdinaki.
Danielle, you fell behind early 1-0, but after that, completely took over the rest of the way in the period. Was that early goal a wake-up call for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely good because we woke up, and then after that, the momentum started shifting our way.
How about shooting against Beck? I thought she was sensational. Can it get a little frustrating when a goaltender's playing that well?
Well, I actually know her personally. She's a really great person, great friend, and she's a really good goalie. But we just got to keep getting traffic through, and hopefully one of them will go in.
You've had an opportunity to obviously represent your country already and play in a number of different events. How is this Canada Games going to rank for you?
Well, it's been pretty unbelievable so far. It's been great. Definitely something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Danielle, thanks for this, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Danielle Serdakny looking to jump ahead in the second period. We'll get to that frame after this break. Engraved on a Nation continues with a third installment of the acclaimed 6-part original series as The Impossible Swim chronicles marathon swimmer Maya Farrell's attempt to cross Lake Ontario and what it takes to overcome seemingly physical and mental obstacles. The Impossible Swim Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific across the TSN network. All right, second period action. Team Alberta taking on Team Nova Scotia. Let's head back to the Centurion.
Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. Dustin Nielsen and Blair Turnbull with you, and we are 1-1 as we get set to begin the second period. And Blair, was really all about the stretch pass in the opening 20, wasn't it?
Yeah, Team Nova Scotia used it once to their advantage to get a nice offensive opportunity, and then you could see Team Alberta use it numerous times, and I think that's due to Nova Scotia being a little bit more passive in the neutral zone. It creates a lot more space for Team Alberta if they're quick at moving the puck, and if they can connect on those passes, I think that lane might be available.
And it actually ended up leading to a goal on a redirect that ended up down the ice. It dropped it back, and a deflection in front that put Alberta on par with Nova Scotia, tied at 1. A look at the Alberta bench. Alberta bench that'll be shorthanded here to start the second period. A big opportunity for Nova Scotia to retake a lead. Shots were 2-2 at one point in this game. Right now, in-house here, we got 15-5. So Alberta has definitely taken over, but a power play in the early going for Nova Scotia. Let's see if we can get the momentum back for them. This is the captain. Burbage drops it back up to the point. Now takes a return feed on the half wall, walks out. Nice move inside, sends one towards the net, and that'll be knocked in behind the goal. Now played back around to the point for McLean. McLean walks the blue line, drops it off down in the corner, takes a return feed, throws it across there to Burbage, who's going to be pressured. Will be kept in. Burbage battling for the puck, gets some help there. Hill will control for Nova Scotia. Now Burbage circles high. He's going to fire one on net, and that's into the belly there of Gosling. And she'll hang on, and pretty nice shot fired by the captain of Nova Scotia, Maggie Burbage.
That's a great shot by Burbage, and you'll see Gosling makes a nice save there. If Team Nova Scotia can get a little bit more traffic and a little bit more net front presence, that might be a goal.
Opportunity in front there for Bent to maybe get a stick on it, but she could not. Now back to the point here for McLean. That's knocked away by Kennedy and all the way down the ice. Maddie Beck comes out here and leaves it for McLean. Ella McLean had an assist in the first period, brings it ahead. Now Hill gets the blue line. Centers it out front. And that one broken up, trickles back down into the corner. Picked up there. Another wicked shot from the captain, Burbage, who can obviously shoot the puck. And I think Gosling's very much aware of that. Nice rush up the ice there from Hill.
A couple really good quality shots, too, on the power play. And that's something that you really want to generate. You want to get a lot of shots, generate some offense, and give your team some momentum.
2 shots so far on this man advantage. And now to be poked ahead. An opportunity here to wheel in over the blue line for Markowski. And the defenseman gets stopped, so decides to circle back around. 20 seconds remaining in this power play. for Nova Scotia, and that one's going to miss everybody. That'll be an icing call with 18 seconds left in the power play. Been a busy few weeks for you, Blair. Obviously a huge series against the United States. Then you're over to China with Calgary. So what's the last couple of weeks been like for you? I know you're usually really busy, but
I don't think I've been
next
this
level,
busy.
right?
Yeah, it's been extremely busy. I was in London, Ontario, and then Toronto, and then Detroit, back to Toronto, and then over to China, and I just got back to Calgary last night. So it's been a busy couple weeks of travel, but I'm glad to be back in Alberta for the next couple weeks.
And now in Red Deer here as we pick up our coverage of the Canada games. This puck will be knocked into the corner. Pressure there, back towards the point, and chipped down into the corner by Walsh. Mortlock will control. Nova Scotia power play. 2 shots there, but 0 for 1. And brought back in here by Lawrence. Lawrence, a backhander. That's deflected by a defender, rolls in, and Goslin will hang on. And what can an early penalty kill do for you from a momentum perspective if you're Team Alberta?
For Team Alberta, you're feeling really good right now. I think having so many offensive opportunities in the first period and then killing off a penalty here gives your team that bit of defensive motivation as well, and you guys, they're able to gain confidence, and they're going to be able to play strong defense, get pucks out, and in turn create even more offense than they've been creating in the first period.
Now they'll be back to even strength here. Tried to move it ahead, but it's going to be broken up. Spence hustles back in there defensively for Alberta, and they are able to come up with the puck, and now they'll skate it away. Poked ahead, an opportunity here for Weiss. Weiss carries it in, throws it across, and it was once again Joma looking for her second of the game, and she cannot finish on the feed from Rachel Weiss. Long pass ahead. This is a stretch pass that was let go by a couple of Albertans, so they'll go for an icing with 16:57 remaining in the second. We are tied at 1. Here's a pretty good look for Alberta.
Team Alberta with a lot of speed on the rush. They're creating a 2-on-1 with another good offensive chance to score.
Weiss has been skating very well so far in this game. Now the puck along the boards here in the offensive zone for Nova Scotia. Played all the way around in behind the net. Weiss got to that and dropped it back. It was played ahead by twos, but it's going to be brought back in by Nova Scotia on an onside. You mentioned how you were over in China with Calgary. You guys only go over there once a year? Is that how the schedule works? Every team from North America ends up in China for one trip?
Yeah, that's right. Each team goes over for about a week at a time and plays 3 games against China, and then China travels to North America a few times a year, and they end up staying here for a few weeks at a time in order to play more games.
A really, really long road trip.
It's not short.
Now to be down in the corner. This will be reversed here by twos, and now they'll throw it up over the blue line. A good race for the puck. Walsh able to get there and knock it to the corner. Lajoie plays it in behind the net, far side, hustling over on it. There's Mortlock. Mortlock will play it down into the corner. Lombach on it there. Lombach waiting, pressured, dumps it off down low there for Kennedy. Back to Lombach, broken up. He'll get it again and play it into the corner. Good race for the puck this time. Craig on it there. Haley Craig along the boards, tied up. Springs free. Drops it off at the point. Markowski will play it back down in behind the net. Some nice pressure here from Alberta. Looking to break a 1-1 tie with 15:33 remaining in the second. In behind the goal. Controlled here by Kennedy again. Drops it off. Now back up to the point. Markowski throws it across far side. Shot blocked. And Nova Scotia, good battle along the boards here, but Craig able to keep this play alive. Nice hustle there from Craig. Down in the corner now on her backhand. Tried to throw it up to the high slot. That's broken up. And now Wozovich is out there as well, as Alberta has managed to make a change while keeping possession of the puck in the offensive zone. Wozovich swings high. Will she shoot here? Yes, she does, and that's into the glove of Maddie Beck, and team in front of her probably praying for a whistle there, so she'll give them one.
Team Alberta really putting pressure on Team Nova Scotia here, keeping them hemmed in their defensive zone for almost a couple minutes there. They were able to get a full line change and continue to keep puck possession. So again, Maddie Beck comes up with a big save.
Shots are 17-8, 1-1, 14:49 remaining in the second. Day 2 women's hockey here at the Canada Games. And an opportunity, 2-on-1 here. This would be brought in by Burbage. She wants to shoot. Rebound is there. And it's played off the side of the goal by Adam. An excellent look, one of the best looks they've had in quite a while. Now it'll be brought back the other way by Serdachny. Serdachny walks in, a little drag and a shot. That's off the leg of the defender, McNeil. And McNeil's able to control and knock it back out to the neutral zone. Now up the boards to the blue line and up into the bench and out of play with 14:08 remaining here in the second. And another look at a good opportunity for Nova Scotia.
It's a great play on a 2-on-1 to shoot far pad, because as a forward, you know that rebound's going to pop right out. And Adams, if she had only been left-handed, it would have gone right to her forehand. But pucks are a little harder to control in your backhand. But again, it's a great try and great offense for Team Nova Scotia.
Now here's a giveaway sent towards the net. That bounces into the corner and will be controlled by Alberta towards the blue line. Not out. Another crack at it. And they'll get it out to the neutral zone. Thornhill trying to control it, but it'll be brought back in here by Bentonall. Bentonall with a shot. That's into the glove again of Maddie Beck as Nova Scotia opened the scoring. Alberta has since tied it. Tied at 1 in Red Deer. Welcome back to the Centrum in Red Deer, everyone. A look there at Aaron Denny. And Blair, you chatted about the coach, with the coach rather, about Denny before the game.
Yeah, actually, Aaron Denny just recently won Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq Female Athlete of the Year award, which is a huge honor, and I'm sure it's something that she's really proud of. And for her to earn that and to be part of this team, it's been a really exciting couple weeks for her.
Bright future as well, and now off the draw, it'll come to the blue line and out to the neutral zone. Penny tried to send one on net. Bounces into the corner where she tries to track it down, but Schroeder's on it there for Alberta. And now skates it away. Gets to center, pokes it ahead. Lajoie will get it in deep. Schroeder chasing in after it. Picked up there by Bent. In behind the goal for Nova Scotia. Centering attempt. First one didn't work. Now trying to bring it off the boards. Ingles is going to get another crack at it. Trying to go high. That's over top of the goal. Comes all the way around. Spence will knock it back in behind the net. Alberta wants a change, though. This will open things up for Kyla Bent. Bent tried the long pass. That was broken up. Now they'll play it up the wing. Bent gets over there to break it up, and that'll go all the way down for an icing call here with 12:47 remaining in the period. And we talked about it right off the top, a lot of the alumni, yourself included. It seems if you're eventually going to get to the national team, you basically have to come through this tournament, don't you?
It seems that way, and even though this tournament's only every so often, there's also the U18 Nationals that happens every year. So
here's a big rebound, and they score, hammering it home. Amy O'Neill, and Nova Scotia retakes a 2-1 lead in what's been a pretty solid period for them so far.
And that's similar to the last play we saw Team Nova Scotia try on the rush there, the shot far pad. If only Adams had been a lefty, she would have buried that one too. So it's a great goal by Team Nova Scotia.
And you know what? Nova Scotia, another look at it there in the rebound. Tough shot to handle, and a nice effort from Gosling to try to get over there, but no mistake from Amy O'Neill to give Nova Scotia a 2-1 lead. It is O'Neill from Pitts. Alberta trying to answer back, and they almost do. Vozovic just missed. Now she stumbled, but from her knees is able to make a play. Serdachny couldn't control. And you know what, the way Alberta played in the final 15 minutes there in the first period, Nova Scotia needed to have a good start to this period, and it hasn't just been a goal. I like the way they've played so far in the period, Blair.
Yeah, they've stepped their game up a lot this period. There's been a lot more offensive chances for them. They're getting more pucks to the net. You're seeing a lot more face-offs, in Team Alberta's zone here.
Shots so far in this period, 7-4 in favor of Nova Scotia, and they have got the go-ahead goal. Nova Scotia losing 5-1 to Ontario in their opener. And you were telling me before we headed on the air here, Ontario's usually pretty strong in an event like this?
Yeah, Ontario usually has a really good team. In fact, in the U18 Nationals team, Ontario, they have so many players that are so good, they're able to send 2 teams. So they usually have Ontario Blue and Ontario Red. So the Canada Games team is just one of all the stacked players.
And you mentioned when you played in 2011, it was Alberta that ended up winning it.
Yeah, I played for Team Nova Scotia and we got to host, but unfortunately my team didn't win. Team Alberta ended up winning that tournament.
Earlier today, Ontario lost to BC, and that would have been a battle for first place in this pool after both clubs picked up wins yesterday to start the event. Now they'll battle down low in the corner here. Nearing the midway point of the hockey game, it was a 5-1 win for BC in the 4 o'clock game today here in Red Deer. Now in behind the net, here's a turnover, an opportunity, and what a save there from Beck. And she had to make sure she held on to the short side as Tegan Ingalls managed to come up with a loose puck behind the goal. Tough play there for McLean as she kind of overskated the puck and got caught looking.
Yeah, it's great awareness by Beck to know that the girl's coming out of the corner, but also to have awareness of the girl coming in from the slot as well. So that's a big save.
Nova Scotia leading here, 2-1. Dustin Nielsen and Blair Turnbull with you. First of 3 games we'll have with our TSN coverage this week. Now that one sent in, deflected into the corner. And moved around on the far side, hustling over there. Garnett tried to move it ahead. Gets a little bit of a friendly bounce, and they'll knock it out to the neutral zone. Settled down there by Lindsay James, drops it back. Now a long pass ahead. That gets the blue line just on side. Lajoie gonna head off on a quick change here. She was battling right in front of the bench. Now brought ahead by Bent. Gets to center, decides to play it in. It's gonna come all the way around on the near side here for Lawrence. Lawrence tied up, had the puck taken away. Craig comes back there to help out her defense. And now a pass to the blue line, that'll be broken up. A nice read there. That time from Lindsay Smith to break it up. Seems as though Nova Scotia's trying to intercept some of these long passes for Alberta. Now here's an opportunity, shot coming, that's deflected. High off the glass, remains in play, and now will be picked up by Lombok. Moves it back up top. Markowski tried to return the feed. It'll trickle down into the corner. Battling there for it is Kennedy. Gets some help. Back to the point. Markowski's shot. Hit a defender. Comes right to Kennedy, who throws it out front. And a quick redirect from Craig. Never ended up finding its way to the net. And Lindsay Smith will bring it ahead here for Nova Scotia. Thought about going for a skate. Now she'll drops it off. That's a good idea. Garnett's shot. Quick one off of one leg into the glove there of Gosling, and she'll hang on with 9:30 remaining in the period.
I like the response from Team Alberta. They're really stepping up and bringing the pressure to Team Nova Scotia, trying to even the score at 2 apiece. And I think Team Nova Scotia's done a little bit better in the neutral zone with tightening up their gap and making sure that Alberta's stretch player isn't as available for that stretch pass.
A similar response to the way maybe when they fell behind 1-0 in the first, you think?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty similar here.
Now off. Battle in the corner, sent to the point. Loose puck laying there, and another opportunity. Almost a 2-goal cushion for Nova Scotia. This shot attempt will be blocked and knocked down the ice. We'll have a race for it. Bogdan's going to be first on it. Shot from a bad angle, wide blocker. She slid heavily into the boards. Bounces up, she's all right. Serdachny now seals the puck. She's going to swoop back here and try to wind things up. The captain for Alberta. Nice move at center. Tripped up from her knees, is able to knock it into the zone, but Thornhill will take over. Thornhill run into there by Weiss. Thornhill back on her feet, trying to move it out again, and this time she will accomplish the feat with 8.5 to play here in the second. McLean in behind her own net. That'll come to Kyla Bent. Bent returns the feed to McLean. Now they'll move it calmly, and a nice little breakout here from Nova Scotia. They'll get to center. Not much further as Madison Gray is able to chop it in, but Alberta will control right away. And this one will be sent all the way down the ice for icing here with Alberta trailing 2-1. Bogdan trying to change that here. Almost a dangerous play.
Yeah, she comes down the ice with so much speed beating that icing and then loses her footing and goes feet first into the board. So she's lucky she's okay.
A little bit of a speed wobble after putting quite a bit on that shot. Just fired it wide, but she hopped right back up and was all right. Back to the point. Walsh throws it across. Shot there. That's blocked by Ingles and trickles down into the corner. From her knees, she remains engaged in the battle against O'Neill, who's given Nova Scotia a 2-1 lead here in the second. Spence takes a look up the middle of the ice. That pass just missed Serdachny. And now it'll be chopped back in. Ingles on it here for Alberta. High off the glass, the blue line, not out. Kept in. Sent in behind the net here. Spence hustling in there behind the goal. Ingles as well for Alberta. And they'll get it to Serdachny. Serdachny, oh, that's not Serdachny, rather. That was Weiss, who can also skate extremely well. This time caught on the offside. Nova Scotia had a lead, lost it, then got it back. They lead 2-1. Now look at Kirk Tomlinson and his bench for Nova Scotia. And they have to like where they're at right now. They lead 2-1 over Alberta, and a pretty good response here in the second after being shell-shocked a little bit. And I think we have to look back on the play of Maddie Beck, who kept it a 1-1 game in the first. It's kind of given her team some confidence, hasn't it?
Beck's been unbelievable for Team Nova Scotia so far this game, and she's really kept them in it. But like you said, Team Nova Scotia came out harder this period, and part of their game plan was to slow down Team Alberta, and I think they've done a pretty successful job with that so far here in the second.
Beck has stopped 20 of 21 in net for Nova Scotia. Maybe another opportunity here. This is Lajoie walking in with a shot. And that one controlled, no problem, as Lajoie was being tracked down from behind, had to get a shot off. And Beck at the top of her crease makes the easy save. Here's another look at it. Good job hustling back here defensively for Nova Scotia, wasn't it?
Yeah, Team Alberta has a lot of speed on the rush, so Team Nova Scotia knows they have to hustle back hard to eliminate any opportunities to make a 2-on-1 or a breakaway play. So for Team Nova Scotia to get back hard and to be able to eliminate options for the puck carrier, it's going to be key here moving forward for them.
Lajoie on Team Alberta here. Her brother, a defenseman for Team Alberta on the men's side. They ended up with a bronze medal. Father, coach of the Kamloops Blazers. Hockey in the family there, as this one will be knocked back inside the blue line and sent all the way down the ice by Stephanie Markowski, and an opportunity for Nova Scotia to skate this a little bit. And they're actually going to draw a penalty as Lindsay Smith was tripped down on the far side of the ice. Beck hustles to the bench, got there just as Alberta touched the puck. So second power play of the game coming up here for Nova Scotia. 0 for 1, 2 shots in their first opportunity as Bree Kennedy heads off. Bree Kennedy, she one of the girls you coach?
Yeah, Bree Kennedy plays at Edge School in Calgary. And you'll see on that play, she's just a little too aggressive on the forecheck there with her stick. So Team Nova Scotia heads off to the power play.
She might have been thinking to strip that puck, and she would have been in on all by herself if she could have got that done cleanly. Second power play here for Nova Scotia. Just under 6.5 minutes remaining in the second. They lead 2-1, and a goal here would be huge for the power play, which is 0-4 in the tournament so far. No control off the draw. This will come to Ella McLean. McLean along the blue line. Now takes it down the wall. McLean drops it off up top. Shot there from the captain, Maggie Burbage. It was wide, but Nova Scotia controls. Now down to Burbage in the corner. Has McLean at the point. Burbage swings high. Likes to shoot. She will here. That's blocked. Rebound picked up by Burbage, who swings it into the corner. Captain will assess things here for Nova Scotia. Drops it off down low. Now they'll come up top. Far side.
They're looking for Burbage back door, but it was deflected away. Good job here by Nova Scotia to maintain possession. Puck will trickle towards the net. Lajoie on it there, moves it ahead, and eventually they'll get it out and try to go for a little bit of a skate here, shorthanded. That was broken up and brought back in by McLean. Maybe some numbers for Nova Scotia. But a good job hustling back, and now an opportunity shorthanded here for Lombok. Lombok walking in, tries the shot, that's low and wide. Comes all the way around on the near side here. Haley Craig will drop it back. And Spence will send it down into the corner. Alberta, about 90 seconds gone here in this penalty kill, which had a couple good chances in the early going. Now brought away, in over the blue line. That's knocked into the corner. And Craig takes a wild swing at it. Couldn't get it out the first time, will get it out the second time, and a pretty successful penalty kill so far from Alberta.
Yeah, it seems like half the play has been down in Team Nova Scotia's end, which is never where you want to be when you're on the power play. So kudos to Team Alberta for their hard work on this penalty kill.
As Nova Scotia re-enters the zone, it's now back to 5-on-5 play. See if Alberta can find a burst here late in the second, trailing by a goal. Weiss can't move it up along the boards. Ingles in there to help out. Nova Scotia will win this battle. Ashlyn Garnett keeping things alive along the boards. The officials hollering at them to move it. Now they will. And there's going to be a penalty here against Nova Scotia. And that will be, it looks like a kneeing call, as Ellen Lawrence is the guilty party. So a power play late here for Alberta to maybe change the tide in this hockey game.
Yeah, this is a big power play coming up for Alberta. They just had a great penalty kill, and now they're looking to have an even better power play, hopefully with a goal for them.
0 for 1 in the game with just one shot. Markowski at the point, tried to drop it off down low. Broken up by Thornhill, chips it to the blue line, not out. Kept in there by Markowski. Dishes it off to Mortlock. Mortlock's shot. That hit a body. Slide to the corner where the captain, Sudakmi, will pick it up. Left half wall, that's a nice feed. Shot coming there. That was blocked. And will now be played all the way down the ice by Ella McLean, and she'll head off. I think that stung her a little bit as well. Now Sudakmi wheels up the ice for Alberta. Gets to center. Brings it in and now keeps control of it. Back to the point. Markowski gets it to Sudakmi. Back up top to Markowski. They'll play pass at the point. Sudakmi down low now. Shot coming, and that was deflected in on net. And Maddie Beck, no holes in her game as she's able to hang on.
It's a great play by Team Alberta. They're really great puck movers. I think all 5 players on that power play unit play together at Pursuit of Excellence School in Kelowna, British Columbia. So they have some chemistry already, and you can certainly see it here tonight.
McNeil here in the corner, overskates it. That'll be picked up. Bosnovich back up top to the blue line, takes the feed again. Now she'll swing high. Tried to dump it off. It comes to Ingles. Ingles, nice hesitation, opens up a lane along the blue line, drops it off there for twos. Back to Ingles. Ingles up top. Bosnovich with a shot. That was a rocket. It was deflected right on the doorstep by Bogdan into the corner. 30 seconds remaining here in the power play. Back to the point for Ingles. Bosnovich tried to find twos, but that was broken up. Now chopped out to the neutral zone. And Alberta will have to hurry here. Just 15 seconds left in the power play. Long pass ahead. That's a good one. Weiss walking in, backhand, and she is stopped again by the pad of Maddie Beck. They keep trying to go blocker side on Maddie Beck, and it's just not there.
I think that's the 4th or 5th time Team Alberta has tried that move on a breakaway, and it hasn't worked for them yet.
Oh, major collision on the far boards. And that will be a penalty against Alberta. So teams exchanging power plays here in the latter part of the second period. But first, let's look at the work of Maddie Beck once again here, Blair.
Team Alberta with another stretch pass, and that's Weiss who's in on the rush again, and Maddie Beck comes up big for Team Nova Scotia.
And then here's a look at the penalty.
That's a big hit by number 8 there, and Team Nova Scotia back to the power play.
It's Jordan Mortlock in the penalty box. The Alberta power play is 0 for 2. Nova Scotia's power play also 0 for 2. That one trickles just wide. 2 shots for the Nova Scotia power play. Of 90 seconds to work here at the end of this period. Back to the point for Ellen McLean. McLean dumps it back off. Now they'll work it down low. Back to the captain, and Burbage had a free lane to the net there if she could have taken that puck cleanly. Now Hill behind the net, gets it to Burbage. Burbage calmly takes it back up towards the blue line, puts on the brakes, drops it off down low for Hill. Back to Burbage, had to take it on her skate. Settles things back down. Assessing things up top, drops it off, was looking to go to Hill. Didn't mind the idea, but Alberta read it, broke it up, and played it all the way down the ice. Final minute of play here. Second period, Nova Scotia with a power play and a lead. Now Alberta will dig in behind their own net. This is Spence watching on. Ingles comes up with it. We'll get some help down there from James. And now it'll be moved around near side. Sliding down there from the point was Bent to try to keep it alive. Bodies fall along the boards with 30 seconds remaining in the period. Burbage again looking high short side, but you could tell from up here, Goslin had a pretty good read on that, didn't she?
Yeah, she was watching the puck the whole time there, and again, like I said earlier, there's a massive importance for net front presence, especially in games like this where the goaltending's really, really strong. So if a goalie sees a clear shot, she's most likely going to make a save.
Now back to Walsh off the draw. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Could Nova Scotia find an insurance marker here? Back to the blue line. Now they'll dump it off to McLean, who tried to throw it across in front to Lawrence, but that was broken up, played all the way down the ice. And that will essentially do it here as Alberta shorthanded, so no icing. And the second period will come to a close with Nova Scotia having a pretty good bounce-back period, and will take a 2-1 lead into the third. Your thoughts on the second?
Definitely more even period than the first. I think Team Alberta obviously dominated the first period, but that period was a little bit more even. We saw more offense from Team Nova Scotia and a little less offense from Team Alberta. So I'm sure Team Nova Scotia will want to keep that up going into the third, and Team Alberta will want to go back to the first period style of play.
It was 1-1 after 20. Only one goal in the second, but it came from Amy O'Neill as she hammers it home, and Nova Scotia leads 2-1 after 40.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Melcor, building the communities where people live, work, shop, and play since 1923. By Columbia, we love keeping you warm. By Santec, architects, engineers, scientists, and project managers who design with community in mind. By the Canadian Olympic Foundation, a proud national partner of the Canada Games, supporting our athletes today builds the champions of tomorrow. And by Tech, Canada's largest diversified resource company and the exclusive medal supplier for the Canada Games.
Team Nova Scotia leading Alberta by a score of 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. We'll get back to that action in just a few moments' time as we welcome you into the second intermission. I'm Kayla Gray. Well, earlier action from today, prelim play, Pool B, Ontario taking on BC. First period, scoreless game. Rebecca Clark brings the puck and dishes it to Caitlin Chan, who shoots it. And that good as she buries the rebound at 1-0 BC. Third period, BC up 3-zip. Clark handles the puck in the zone. Rachel Teslak with the slap shot from the point, and Clark there to tap in her second goal off the rebound. 4-0 BC. Late third now, down by 4 goals. Team Ontario finally would get on the board here. Good off the rebound, 4-1, but BC would add an empty net goal at the buzzer as they take it 5-1 the final. Connor McKay-Ivenko was good enough to be on the national stage as he's competing in table tennis at the Canada Games. But what's so surprising is that he just recently picked up the sport. Even more surprising is that he taught himself by using YouTube videos. Here's Paul Hollingsworth.
His game is strong. Strong enough that Connor McKay-Evenko has reached the national stage, competing at the Canada Games. But this grade 10 high school student from Hay River, Northwest Territories is still a relative newcomer to the sport.
I started playing real table tennis about a year ago.
Every day, McKay-Evenko pushes himself to learn as much as he can about table tennis.
I always like to learn new things to practice and to discover.
When he began playing competitively, McKay-Evenko quickly discovered two things. He loved the sport, and he needed to find ways to improve his game. Playing with his friends at school was fun. He loves to hang with them, but
there's no competition to play with anymore, so that's the down part of it.
So, in a very 21st century way, McKay-Evenko Googled table tennis.
Hello, I'm Tom Lodziak, and I'm a table tennis coach from Cambridge in the UK.
On YouTube, he found a series of instructional videos, online tools to help him improve. And they worked.
Service is a lot, and just techniques in general is helpful quite a bit.
Now he's a big-time player with an impressive skill set. His strengths are?
I think it's my forehand, but I guess service could be a big part of it too.
Qualifying for the Canada Games took effort and sacrifice. On weekends, he traveled 5 to 6 hours to work with the Northwest Territories table tennis team. His parents drove him wherever he needed to go.
That's amazing to go with me every weekend to Yellowknife and down south. It's awesome.
And by down south, he doesn't mean Florida or Arizona.
Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Peace River, all like northern Alberta.
He came to Red Deer to compete for a medal, but he's also on a path towards improvement. He's constantly trying to get better. And regardless of who he's playing against, he always plays to win.
So I'm told that he's good, and he's fast, and he's hard to beat. Paul Hollingsworth, TSN.
When we return, Dustin Nielsen checks in with Nova Scotia's captain, Maggie Burbage.
Hi, my name's Katie Hart, and I'm a center for Team Northwest Territories Hockey, and you're watching the Canada Games at TSN.
It's like a mini Olympics. That's where kind of a dream started, being able to represent Team Quebec there. Having all athletes around Canada was super exciting, and obviously for a kid being there, I think it's just awesome. It just keeps growing, and it was a great memory, and I sure remember still today.
First of all, just going to the Yukon, when I played, it was in the Yukon, and it was so cold, but getting off and getting to see all the other athletes, I remember our whole team dressing up and putting on face paint to go to the wheelchair basketball, and I think that was one of the first moments I really felt part of a team that was bigger than, you know, just our hockey team, and that's something so special that you don't get to experience a lot. The Olympics was another one, you know, being part of that bigger team, so the Canada Winter Games were really kind of a stepping stone to getting there and having that feeling for the first time.
It was a great experience as a young player, being able to have, go to a multi-sport event, sort of like the Olympic Games, get to know what it's like, and of course to represent your province is a lot of fun as well.
And Nova Scotia leading Team Alberta by a score of 2-1 after 2 periods of action. Standing by with Dustin Nielsen is Nova Scotia's captain, Maggie Burbage.
Maggie, it looked like you were on your heels a little bit there at the end of the first period. So what was the key in the second to take that game back over and restore your lead?
For sure, yeah. I think we just got pucks deep and just won our battles, got shots to the net. I mean, they're out shooting us by a couple, but we're getting pucks to the net and driving hard, and I think we're going to get one here soon.
You've had a few cracks on the power play here. Is there anything you think you might need to do differently on the power play in the third period?
For sure, yeah. I think I just need to get a quicker release, pick corners, get pucks through, hit girls' back door kind of thing, and hopefully we'll get one here because we're getting a lot of opportunities.
All right, and it's early in the week for you, but how has the Canada Games experience been so far?
It's been amazing. I mean, everyone here is awesome. The food is great. Everything is so good here. I mean, the girls are loving it. They're a good hostess. I mean, everyone's loving it. We're enjoying it so far.
All right, well, thank you very much for the time, and good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
And we will have that third period next. Team Alberta taking on Team Nova Scotia. We'll get back to the Centrium when we return.
Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. A lot of traffic at the souvenir stand, and well, so far, Blair, a lot of traffic in front of the net tonight as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. As I said earlier, both of these goalies are really, really good, and the only way to beat a good goaltender is to get traffic in front of the net, and that's exactly what's happened here in the second period, and that's exactly what will continue to happen here in the third, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were talking about it during the intermission. With the way that Maddie Beck has played so far, you're not sure you're going to be able to beat her straight up. The only goal they've had is with traffic in front and a deflection that she had no chance on. You have to think that might almost be the only way to beat her here in the third.
I think that's what's going to give Team Alberta the best chance of scoring on her.
Her team will start on a power play. Dustin Nielsen and Team Canada player Turnbull with you as we get set to settle in for period number 3, 2-1 hockey game. Nova Scotia with the lead. Both of these teams losing their openers, so needless to say, this period a big one. Now off the draw, loose puck laying there, high slot. That's going to be broken up, and back to even strength as Mortlock steps out of the penalty box. Drive to the net. Weiss tried to go up high there. At least it went off the stick of Beck. Deflected in behind the goal. Ingles down in the corner. Back to the point here now. Weiss, shot, blocked. Maybe another crack at it. She's gonna drive, backhand. And I like the way Maddie Beck stays up on her feet. And she managed to hang on to that one as it went into the chest.
Another really good save by Maddie Beck. Weiss has been really offensive and a really threatening player tonight for Team Alberta, and Maddie Beck's been shutting the door.
Weiss, her skating definitely stands out. She's had a couple of really good bursts so far. She plays out of the pursuit of excellence. And you mentioned they had that one whole power play unit out of the pursuit of excellence, which is a nice advantage for a province, right? When you can throw a whole power play unit out there with 5 players who play together all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about these events is that not often do you have teammates from club teams that get the opportunity to play together for their provincial teams. So it's a big advantage for Team Alberta, and moving forward, I think that'll be really helpful for them.
Off the draw, controlled by Nova Scotia. Can they clear the zone? Yes. That's out there. Serdachny knocks it back in over the blue line, controlled there by Ella McLean. Moves it ahead. Burbage, the captain, who joined us in the second intermission, been in control, and out the captain for Alberta. Serdachny going to try to open it up here a little bit. In over the blue line. Serdachny cutting wide. Tried to throw it across. Beck was there. And maybe not a completely clean look at it for Jaden Bogdan. But Beck was still there to take away the bottom part of the net. Nice play by Serdachny to keep her head up, trying to find a teammate.
Really good play by Serdachny. Also a really good play by Team Nova Scotia defense to keep her to the outside and force her to make that play on net from a bad angle.
And it was Mallory Thornhill who had Bogdan tied up in front of the net. Couldn't get a clean look at it. Now this shot fired wide. Schroeder in behind the goal, and that puck's gonna get trapped on the back of the net for a quick whistle here with $1:33 gone in period number 3. One of the closest games we've seen so far here in the tournament. Canada games for you. You mentioned part of the hosts in 2011. Overall, how was the games experience outside of the tournament itself?
I had a great time. It was a lot of fun to be able to play in front of my family, who at the time didn't get to see me play very often because I was at prep school in Minnesota, which is quite a ways away from Nova Scotia. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. And actually, when I played at the Olympics February of last year, the first thing I thought of when I arrived was how it reminded me of the Canada Games and the way it was set up, obviously on a much bigger scale. But the Canada Games was a similar experience, just at the national level versus the world stage.
Battle here in behind the net. That is going to be picked up and controlled.
Now they'll find a defenseman off the bench. Shot from Ingles. That's going to be blocked, and I'm assuming Nova Scotia is going to try to block as much as they can from the point with all the traffic that Alberta has been throwing in front. Now Weiss off the boards. Ingles will send it in. Bent hustling back here, now knocks it around the boards. And that'll be tipped towards the blue line and out to the neutral zone. And now moved ahead. Ingles. Found Joma, who has the goal for Alberta in this game. It's the only one they have. Nice move there. Shot coming. That's high over top of the head off the stick of Cassie Bettenall. Back to the point. That shot blocked and will be scooped up and brought away here by Gray. Gray brings it in behind the goal. Scooped up there by Ashley Penny. Centered it. Nobody home. And now Weiss is going to wheel the other way for Alberta. Here's Weiss trying to cut wide. Thornhill got in the way there. Weiss still going. And she tried to find some room along the ice, but fired it wide. Past the glove of Beck. Well, Weiss has been flying tonight, hasn't she?
Yeah, offensively, I think she's really been a key player for Team Alberta. She's created numerous scoring chances, and every time she's on the ice, it seems like she's a really big threat.
Serdachny, a backhand pass that misses everybody. And that one is all the way down the ice. Here's another look at Rachel Weiss trying to go coast to coast. She stayed on that puck pretty hard along the boards, didn't she?
She did. She's relentless on the pursuit of that puck, and I think that's going to pay off for her, whether it's in this game or if it's in games tomorrow or the next day for Team Alberta. If she continues to play like that, she's going to have success.
Long pass, an opportunity, and this time they score. Sarah Woznovich decides to go glove side on Maddie Beck, and we're tied at 2.
I have the pleasure of coaching Woz at Edge School in Calgary, and offensively, she's so talented, and she's got a bright future ahead of her, and as you can see, she has a lot of speed as well. So I think that's her 3rd or 4th breakaway this game. It's about time she buried one.
Sounds like a coach. She puts it home in an excellent stretch feed there, we should mention, from Brooklyn Tews, who you also coach at the same school, so maybe a little bit of chemistry there.
Yeah, a little bit of connection between the two Edge girls on that goal. It's always nice to see.
Tied at 2. Can Alberta bring some heat now? The only assist. Here's another opportunity. The only assist on that goal. Tews. Woznovich with the finish. Now back the other way. This is Hill for Nova Scotia. Tried to drop it off. It'll be broken up and controlled here by Markowski. Markowski a part of that U18 Canadian squad, as is Serdachny, who brings it in now. Serdachny turns, backhand pass. Looked like she was trying to find a teammate on the far side. Now a shot through, and nice save there from Maddie Beck. Another look at the equalizer from Woznovich. She was gone.
A lot of things happened in that play that we've talked about already tonight, including a nice stretch pass from Tews, a lot of speed from Woz, and then a great finish.
Talked about how you might not be able to beat Maddie Beck straight up, but Woznovich did it there. Now a shot through. That's going to bounce off of a leg towards the blue line, and kept in there with some nice hustle from Peyton Lombach. Now in behind the goal. Good job settling it down here from McLean, but she's going to be pressured by a couple of Albertans. McLean another crack at it here, and we'll move it around. Gets it back and flips it up and out of play with 14:26 remaining, and Ella McLean knows that she's going to head off here, and that will give Alberta, who has a little bit of momentum right now, a big power play opportunity here in the 3rd.
This is a big penalty kill coming up for Team Nova Scotia. They're really going to have to bear down here and play solid defense and try to get the puck out of their zone as much as they can.
Alberta power play 0 for 2 with 3 shots. None bigger than this one, at least at this point in the game. They'll control off the draw, back to the point there for Mortlock. Takes a return feed, wrist shot through, that's blocked. And will be played down the ice by Lindsay Smith. Now controlled by Serdachny. Dumps it off here. Mortlock, far side. Markowski will bring it in. Dumps it back off to Mortlock. Up high for Serdachny. Serdachny tried to dish it over to Markowski, but fanned on it, and Nova Scotia takes advantage. Markowski at center. Decides to hammer it in. An opportunity for Kyla Bent to get over there and knock it down the ice. Can't clear the zone. Now Serdachny takes over for Alberta. Spins back. Up to the point. Ingles. Far side. Markowski tried to come back to Serdachny. That was broken up. Now they'll give it to Serdachny in behind the net. Head up all the way. Looked for a backdoor feed, but a nice read there by Ashley Penny to send that one down the ice.
So that's a great read. Team Alberta was able to do that pass a couple times in the second period on their power play. So good job by Team Nova Scotia adjusting a penalty kill to eliminate that pass.
Bogdan for Alberta throws it ahead. Woznovich tied this game at 2. In on it there, drops it off. Joma had the first goal for Alberta. Now finds the second goal scorer. Woznovich drops it off, shot blocked. Woznovich, can she keep it in? No, they'll have to clear the zone with 15 seconds remaining in the power play. Woznovich walks back in, drops it off for Bogdan. Backhand attempt not going to work. Bogdan trying to track it down in behind the goal. But that'll be moved around now back along the boards. Even strength. Lajoie fans on it in the slot. This will be picked up, played out to the neutral zone. Jane's far side. Ingles will bring it in. Cuts to the middle. Knocked off her stick, but a follow-up shot. And now it trickles in. Beck's down. Puck's still there. And it'll be knocked into the corner. Good pressure here from Alberta. Schroeder in behind the net. Can't center it. Hustling over there. A quick little reverse from Lawrence. And now it'll be played to the blue line. Not out. Kept in again, this time by Mortlock. And a big collision along the boards. Big time collision as Thornhill sent Schroeder for a little bit of a ride. Now it'll be played down into the corner here by Kennedy. Bent along the boards, pressured here by Haley Craig. Craig takes a stumble in the corner. 11:20 remaining here. Third period tied at 2. Centering attempt. Beck was down. Lombach couldn't get all of it. Now Nova Scotia wants to relieve some pressure, and they will. Flipping it high out to the neutral zone. And now fired down the ice. A race for it. And the first on it there. It's Nova Scotia. Long pass right side. That's a good feed. Lawrence walks in with a shot wide blocker. Comes all the way around on the near side here. And back out to the neutral zone where Lawrence will grab it. We've gone quite a ways without a whistle. Alberta had that power play, and we haven't had a stoppage since then. Here's an opportunity. Backhand attempt. Beck down. Rebound there. Beck closes the door again and gets a whistle with 10:39 remaining. We are tied at 2. Thanks to a breakaway finish from Sarah Woznovich. Now Maddie Beck, the netminder for Nova Scotia, has stopped 31 of 33. She's been under fire, and a lot of them have been excellent looks. Woznovich went backhand, then she decided to go forehand, and Blair, a lesson learned finally by Team Alberta.
Yeah, honestly, on breakaways, it takes a really smart player to be the goaltender because you normally resort to your go-to move. And for Woznovich, she did that a couple times and it wasn't working. So she made a minor adjustment. Instead of going blocker side, she goes glove side, and she pops one in the back of the net for Team Alberta.
Now along the boards, this will be controlled momentarily by Nova Scotia, taken away by Alberta, and the host team will move it out through the neutral zone. Weiss trying to chase in after it. Bent takes it into the corner, runs into a little bit of trouble, dumps it off up the boards. Now they'll poke it ahead and bring it away. Possible 2-on-1, and that's broken up. A steady play there defensively from Ingles, who's had a nice game, I think, for Alberta. And now that'll be touched on the offside with 9:56 remaining. If we do get to overtime, it'll be 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. And then 3 players will have a crack in the shootout. Long way to go, though, but you mentioned a couple of times, Blair, both goaltenders have been pretty good so far tonight.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting if the game ends up going to a shootout, because both goaltenders, in my opinion, have been lights out for both of their teams.
Here's Thornhill in behind her own net, plays it up the boards. Nobody there, Serdachny steps in, and he'll try to knock it down into the corner. McLean, nice little reverse, opens things up, comes up off the boards. Can't get it out, pressure there. Woznovich feathers it through, side of the goal, they'll jam away. Beck is down, and a nice point-blank save there on Jaden Bogdan. As Woznovich been a real difference maker so far here in the third. Serdachny trying to work her way in, made one nice move. Might get another crack here still. Sent across, Serdachny backhand attempt, another shot, and Lajoie denied. As Maddie Beck slides to her left, comes up with yet another big stop and a smile on her face.
The smile as big as that stop. That's a great play by Maddie Beck there. Team Alberta really putting the pressure on her, and she's been amazing for Team Nova Scotia, and that's just another save to prove how good of a goaltender she is.
Looks like Lajoie was handcuffed a little bit on that puck coming inside her skates. But more pressure here from Alberta. Now the puck will be turned and sent all the way down the ice. And that'll go the distance here. One thing I want to chat with you about, you mentioned when you were talking about how you played in Minnesota. I was looking at some of the other girls here, and how does it get determined, you know, if you're going to go play down there? You decide to go, or do they come kind of recruit you, or how did that go about for you?
It's kind of a little combination of both. So when I was this age, when I was 15, 16, I didn't really have the option to play boys hockey anymore just because of the size difference. So I went to the girls league back home, but during that time the girls league had only been established for 1 year, so it wasn't that strong, and I wanted to play hockey at the highest level possible for me, so an opportunity opened up for me to play at Shattuck St. Mary's, and I jumped on it with no hesitation.
More options nowadays?
There's definitely more options, yeah. The league back home in Nova Scotia, I know for a fact, has grown a lot, and it's quite strong now.
Yeah, I was looking at some online stuff on Maddie Beck as we've got a penalty coming up here. Just mention it because Maddie Beck's been sensational tonight, but you see she's part of Boston Junior Eagles down there as well, so bright future for her. Joma heads to the box, got her hands up a little bit high. Roughing call. And it'll be the 4th power play for Nova Scotia, 0 for 3 with 3 shots. And goodness, a goal here with Beck in net would go a long way.
Yeah, this is, like I said last time, a really big power play for Team Nova Scotia. Going to be looking to capitalize, and after that, 6 minutes left in the game.
And they score! A redirect in front leads to a rebound that's tapped home, and it took just 11 seconds. But it looks like Tiffany Hill found the back of the net on the rebound, and Nova Scotia has a lead.
It's a great time for Team Nova Scotia to execute their power play to a T, and you'll see strong puck movement and great net front presence, a little redirect to the back door for a rebound goal. It's exactly how pucks are going to go in the net, and we've seen that multiple times tonight.
It almost looked like that deflection kind of came up and hit Pitts. Might not have even got to the goaltender, and then bounced right down there for Hill. So one of these teams finally strikes on the power play, and it's Nova Scotia who's being outshot 35-16 right now. They have a 3-2 lead. Woznovich trying to go to work again here for Alberta. She's going to skate the entire zone. Now she's left wide open. Throws it up high. Bogdan couldn't connect. And he's sent all the way down the ice That goal, the third of the game for Nova Scotia. Hill from Pitts and McLean. And just like that, 3-2. Now back the other way. Weiss trying to drive in. She's taken hard into the net. She was going hard into the net. And Maddie Beck managed to get out of the way. Nova Scotia on top, 3-2, late in the third. Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. Women's hockey action at the Canada Games, and a look at Madeleine Walsh, who was in the penalty box for a tripping call.
A player like Weiss needs to be taken down hard when she goes to the net like that because she's so dangerous. So a strong defensive play like that sometimes does result in a penalty, and when you're in the box, a close game like this with only a few minutes left in the period, you're really, really hoping your penalty kill and your goaltender are able to execute for you.
Speaking from experience, happened a few times, is that what that is?
Maybe once or twice.
Nova Scotia just took the lead on a power play of their own. Now they'll lead their penalty kill to step up here in a big way. Alberta's power play 0 for 3. 3 shots. Now knocked down into the corner. Back up towards the blue line. Mortlock dumps it off. Serdachny. Up top, Markowski. Back to Serdachny. Serdachny's going to shoot it. She scores! Snipe job there from Danielle Serdachny. Power play answers back, and we're tied at 3.
It's a huge goal for Team Alberta. Power play goal by their captain late in the third period. That's exactly what you need your clutch players to do. You need them to execute during high pressure moments like that, and that's what we saw right there.
She was not messing around, no hesitation there either. Got that puck, stepped in, and fired it home. And now we get a look at the Nova Scotia captain, Maggie Burbage, chatting with the referee. And the head coach here, Kirk Tomlinson, is right down along the boards. And I'm not 100% sure what explanation they're looking for.
I'm not sure either. I didn't really notice anything peculiar about that play. I'm not sure what they would be arguing. And if they were going to argue the penalty, that would have been as soon as it was called. So
it's going to be Serdachny from Markowski and Mortlock. And now Alberta will come back again to the point. Shot there from Spence, directed into the corner. And it'll be sent all the way down the ice. We've got a beauty on our hands here. Less than 7 to play, tied at 3 in the early stages here of this women's hockey tournament at the Canada Games. Here's Serdachny again. The official gets out of the way. Serdachny centers it. And that one not picked up by anybody. Woznovich hustling in here by herself now as the entire line headed off on a change. Bettenall comes in, picks up the puck, stripped away along the boards, and now skated ahead by Hill. Brought back in. This is Weiss. Drops it off to Bettenall, back up top. That shot blocked. Joma's attempt never found its way to the net. Bettenall with a shot. Joma from her knee trying to move it ahead. And Nova Scotia will relieve this pressure. They're being outshot 36-16. You get the sense Alberta's feeling here like the next one will win it. Now Thornhill sends it down in behind the net. Aaron Denny hustling in there for Nova Scotia. It'll be picked up and controlled by Bettenall. Bettenall, lots of room to skate, untouched to center. Feathered it ahead. Joma couldn't get a stick on it. Comes all the way back to Thornhill, who moves it around now on the near side for Penny. Penny back down in the corner for Walsh, who was in the penalty box when Alberta tied this thing at 3. Now softly out off the boards to the neutral zone. And at center ice, Walsh tries to get a stick on it again. Barging in there and taking it away. Peyton Lombach. Lombach drops it. Shot coming, and a nice save through a screen there as Maddie Beck got a pat down on it. Now another shot. Trickles right in front. Beck's down and manages to deny a point-blank opportunity from Bree Kennedy. As Maddie Beck continues to stand tall for Nova Scotia.
Those are two huge saves by Beck once again. She's been amazing for Team Nova Scotia, and I'm telling you, her teammates owe her one tonight for her performance. Team Alberta doubling Team Nova Scotia in shots. And the score is tied at 3.
Beck has stopped 35 of 38 Alberta shot attempts. At the other end, not as busy a night for Gosling, who stopped 13 of 16. 4:44 remaining here in the third. Dustin Nielsen and Blair Turnbull with you. That shot steered away, bounces off the far boards. And now in the corner, trying to get a stick on it there, was Amy O'Neill. They'll get it out to the neutral zone. One shot for Nova Scotia here in the third. It's the one they scored on. That'll be brought in. Bent sends it in behind the goal. Hustling over on it there. In on the attack, Ellen Lawrence. She'll get some help from O'Neill. Good puck support here, though, from Alberta. 3 of them beneath the goal line. They'll try to reverse it here to Lawrence. She's pinned by Ingles. Fighting her way out, though, Lawrence is. Back to the point. Bent drops it back to Lawrence. That's in her skates. And now Ingles will grab it, flip it high to the blue line. Bent kept it in. Pretty good job there. Eventually, it will be moved out into the neutral zone. Nova Scotia's calling for too many on the ice. Not going to get it. As going back for it there is McLean. McLean again plays it into the far corner. And Bent flips it over on the near side. McLean's going to be pressured here. Serdachny, Wozdovic, the 2 goal scorers for Alberta in this period. They're out there right now with Bogdan. Bogdan drops it back to Serdachny. Serdachny again. Wicked wrist shot there, but that's turned aside. And behind the net, a turnover. Serdachny denied again by the pad of Beck. That was a glorious look. 5-star opportunity there for Serdachny. Blair, you get the chance that Nova Scotia just hanging on here right now?
Yeah, I think that could be part of their plan, hoping to potentially get to a shootout so that their goaltender can once again save the day. But Team Alberta is really putting the pressure on Team Nova Scotia. It seems like Team Nova Scotia might be a little bit tired here at the end of the third period.
A burst here from Ashley Penny. Tried to cut to the middle of the ice. That was broken up. And now an opportunity here for Mortlock to skate it away. Up the middle of the ice. A nice burst here. They'll drop it off. They've drawn a penalty. That shot high and wide. Gosling to the bench for the extra attacker. It's Haley Craig. And the puck will be touched by Nova Scotia. And tied at 3. Alberta's going to go back to the power play. A power play they have just scored on. And are 1 for 4 on the night. Let's get another look here. Blair, what do you think of the penalty call?
Let's see here. Oh, it's definitely a slash. You can see, I'm not sure if they called her for hooking or slashing or tripping there, but definitely looks like a slash to me right across the hands. And when you do that and the player falls, you're going to the box for sure.
Timeout has been called here, as Alberta will look to draw something up with 2:15 remaining in this game. Shots are 41-16. Here's a look at some of the special teams so far in this game.
Special teams can really make or break a game for you. So if you're able to execute special teams and beat the other team in the special teams battle during the game, you're likely to win. So this is a huge power play for Team Alberta. Carla McLeod down on the bench there, drawing up some plays for them to go through. And we saw success from them last power play. So they're going to be looking to do the same thing here.
Would you let Serdachny take another crack at it with a shot? Scored on the last one.
Yeah, her shot is quite dangerous, but I think Team Nova Scotia is really worried about eliminating that seam pass for the backdoor one-timer. So Team Alberta has a lot of weapons on their power play, and it's going to be interesting to see if Team Nova Scotia can shut the door here.
Serdachny is going to be waved out of the draw. Weiss will move in to take it. And that will be won by Aaron Denny. In the corner. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in regulation. Deadlocked at 3. Coming back to the point here for Markowski. Gets it to Serdachny. Back to Markowski. Serdachny was looking across. Now Markowski's shot. That's going to be blocked and played out through the neutral zone by Nova Scotia. 90 seconds remaining in the power play. Serdachny brings it back in. On her backhand here, she'll swoop back around. Play it to Markowski. Across to Morlock with a shot through, and that was deflected. And Maddie Beck was able to see it through traffic and make a stop.
Once again, great traffic in front by Team Alberta, and a great job by Team Nova Scotia picking up sticks to allow Beck to see that shot through the screen. You know, it's a little bit tougher, obviously, to see the shot when there's two people in front of you, but she makes another big save.
Woznovich along the boards, gets it back. Twos couldn't take it cleanly, and Nova Scotia will get a chance to play it out. Kept in there. Ingles keeps it in at the point.
Team Nova Scotia right now is doing a great job of keeping the puck on the wall, which is what you want to do late in the game, whether you're on the penalty kill or not.
The Nova Scotia bench is furious that there was not a penalty call on what looked like an elbow or a forearm of some sort in a puck battle along the boards. See if we can get another look at it.
Looks like there might be a little bit of stick work here by Team Alberta along the wall. That's definitely something that could be considered a penalty in the eyes of some referees.
Leah Joma got away with it there as we enter the final minute of regulation. Alberta's on a power play, looking for a tiebreaker. Serdachny comes in, drops it off. She'll get it back on the far boards, back up top. Markowski with a shot that's wide, bounces onto the back of the net. A chance here for Smith to clear. She'll get it out and down the ice. And a round of applause here from the Nova Scotia fans in attendance. Serdachny picks it back up on the long pass, gets the blue line, drops it off there for Bettenall. Bettenall's going to be pressured, stripped away again, and this one will be played ahead. Maybe a chance, shorthanded. This is the captain, and that shot off the stick there. Burbridge bounces into the corner. Less than 20 seconds to play. That shot attempt blocked. Burbridge will get it back. Burbridge has it poked away. That will come to Weiss, who moves it ahead. Back to even strength in the final moments here of the third period. It'll be brought in onside, cutting to the middle, and a tripping call coming here as Amy O'Neill was tripped down with 1.3 seconds remaining in the third, and it'll be a power play that carries over into overtime.
It's a bit of a change of momentum here after a huge penalty kill by Team Nova Scotia for them to earn the right to a power play here. Well, if they're not able to finish the game here in the last 1.3 seconds, it should lead for an interesting start to overtime.
Puck will be dropped, and that'll almost do it. And we will head to overtime. 5 minutes of 3-on-3, and it'll be a power play for Nova Scotia. When we return, they're going to have a chance to win it early in overtime. Welcome back to the Centurion Red Deer. We've been treated to a beauty so far here on a Monday night. Alberta and Nova Scotia tied at 3, and here's how we got there with these 6 goals so far tonight. And Blair, it's really been a back and forth affair, hasn't it?
It definitely has. The shots are a little outnumbered. Team Alberta's definitely led the offensive charge throughout the game, but on the scoreboard, things are even, and we've seen a lot of similar goals scored on both ends.
Nova Scotia so far here in this game has had 3 leads and have let it slip away every single time. They're going to have a chance here to win this game in overtime. Right now, they're being outshot 42-17. In the third period, shots were 18-2 in favor of Alberta. So a dominant third period. And we will start this 3-on-3 period with a power play for Nova Scotia. And because of that, they will have the 4th attacker, and they will play 4-on-3 if the, I think it's Serdachny in the penalty box. If she comes out, they'll play 4-on-4 until the whistle, and then reset to 3-on-3. Nova Scotia's power play, 1 for 4, 4 shots. One of those shots, of course, a goal. See if they can win it here and get the job done for their netminder, Maddie Beck, who's been brilliant here tonight. Ella McLean drops it off, far side, back up top to McLean. Burbage, the captain will fire! And that's a hard shot and a nice save
from Caroline Gosling, and you have a feeling they might be trying to feed Burbage on this near side.
Yeah, it seems like she's a shooter, and in big games like this, with a lot on the line for both these teams, they're both looking to win this game. They're going to be hitting Burbage with a lot of opportunities for that one-timer, and then I'm going to guess on their next unit, they're going to put Bent out on the other side and get her one-timer going as well.
This is kind of an interesting strategy here. Kirk Tomlinson, the head coach for Nova Scotia, has called his timeout 13 seconds into overtime. He obviously didn't see something that he liked at the beginning of that power play, because they had 3 minutes to set it up between the third and overtime. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach call a timeout 13 seconds into overtime.
I'm not sure if I have either, but it might be a good opportunity for Team Nova Scotia to kind of take a deep breath and regroup and get things going here on the power play.
Maybe wanting some traffic on the Burbage shot, who knows? Face-off will come to the blocker side right of Gosling. She stopped 15 of 18, and Nova Scotia will win this face-off. They'll knock it down into the corner. It'll come back around here. Controlled by McLean. McLean takes it in behind the net. Drops it off there for O'Neill. Up to McLean. McLean, Burbage, a one-timer, missed by a couple of feet, but the rebound will be controlled by McLean. 40 seconds gone in this power play in overtime. Burbage, another one-timer, this one high and wide. Comes down in the corner. He'll play it back to the point for McLean. McLean walks in, sends a shot through, that's off the post. Rebound there, Burbage yams away, a mad scramble at the edge of the crease. The puck still loose, and it trickles just wide. They'll turn around, across to Burbage, another one-timer. This one's blocked. A number of opportunities for this Nova Scotia power play, but they can't take advantage just yet. Burbage again, that's blocked. McLean's gonna have a chance, and it's off of a leg in behind the net. And they'll try to get a whistle on the side of the goal, and that's a good idea. Caroline Gosling.
Those are the best chances of the game for Team Nova Scotia. A lot of great puck movement, a lot of great shots on net. McLean hits a post there. It's 3 inches more to the right, and that's in the back of the net. So Burbage's one-timers, they were all really hard, great quality shots. And as you can see, the puck often drops right down in front.
Another rocket there from Burbage, and that one was turned aside. 30 seconds left in the power play. McLean will fire, that's deflected. Comes around short side, and it's through the crease behind the netminder and out the other side off the stick of Landon Pitts. Shot from a bad angle, and that one's gonna go all the way down the ice, at least to center ice. Now Burbage will grab it. He's gonna bring it back in. Drops it into the corner. A chance here for Markowski to ring it around the boards. Can't get it out. Kept in there by O'Neill. Tried to drop it off, broken up. Now Markowski's gonna go for a skate. Back to even strength. Can she win it here? Markowski denied. Maddie Beck up to the task of the breakaway from Markowski. And we'll play 4-on-4 until we get a whistle with 2:45 remaining here in overtime. Now a giveaway at the blue line. Wozniewicz couldn't touch it, would have been offside. Now it'll be brought ahead. Wozniewicz, savage on that back check. Couldn't come away with the puck cleanly though. Now Serdachny, some room for her to skate out there, moves it ahead. Wozniewicz couldn't control. Serdachny steals it just outside the blue line. Wozniewicz couldn't handle the pass. And it will be controlled here by Twos. Moves it ahead. That's off the skate to Wozniewicz all the way down the ice. Now in behind the goal. Controlled here by Ella McLean. Moves it around. Skate onto it there quickly. Walsh reverses it back in behind the net. McLean has to go back and get it. We have less than 2 minutes remaining here in 3-on-3 overtime, and we haven't seen any 3-on-3 overtime yet, Blair.
That's right, it's been 4-on-4 the whole time, which means once the power play expired, there hasn't been a whistle yet.
Now a long pass ahead. Ellen Lawrence throws it across, deflected over top of the net on a nice back check there. It'll be settled down by Weiss. She can fly. And here she goes through the neutral zone. Gets the right side. Shot coming into the belly there of Maddie Beck.
And she'll hang on with 82 seconds remaining as we've had chances at both ends, Blair.
Yeah, lots of opportunities for Team Nova Scotia on that power play. You'll see Landon Pitts puts the puck right through the crease there, followed by a breakaway from Markowski where she goes just wide of the net. Lots of offensive opportunities at both ends of the rink.
So left-handed shot trying to go blocker side on Beck. 5 shots in that power play for Nova Scotia, which was a significant amount, but they couldn't finish. 3 more shots than they had in the entire third period. And now we will play 3-on-3. Just over a minute remaining here in the overtime. A shootout looms. Unless it gets ended here, it'll be brought in. Stolen. Serdachny now skated away. Moves it ahead to Joma. Serdachny will drive towards the goal. And Beck was waiting for that to fall down to her with less than a minute remaining now in overtime.
Great rush by Team Alberta. They're going to be looking to use their speed and use the ice here in the last minute of the game. Team with speed like they have and the puck movement skills. 3-on-3 should really work to their advantage, but so far, Team Nova Scotia has been able to hang in the overtime.
Sarah Woznovich for Alberta can't win that draw. It'll be brought back the other way by Burbage. Wrist shot, and that one, no problem. Gosling will hang on, and it'll lead to a defensive zone face-off for Alberta. Excellent game so far. We couldn't have asked for a better game to start our week.
It's been great. Both teams are playing well, especially in this overtime. We've seen a lot of action so far.
Hill can't control the draw. Markowski had a breakaway in overtime, moves it ahead. That's a nice feed. Weiss will pick it up. Weiss cuts to the middle, drops it back. Woznovich couldn't control. Now they'll try to find Woznovich again. She'll bring it in. Pokes it into the corner, skates in after it, gets there and picks it up. Tried to play it back towards the point. Tews was waiting for it. Tews will get it, knock it into a corner. Now she'll try to chase after it. 15 seconds left. Tews comes up with it. Tried to throw it in the middle. Burbage is there to pick it off. And now Burbage just will calmly take it into the corner. And that is going to do it. Overtime solves nothing. 3-woman shootout coming up here to determine this round-robin battle, and what a battle it's been between Nova Scotia and Alberta. As far as round-robin games go, Blair, this is a pretty memorable one for these girls, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm sure both teams are feeling the pressure right now. As we talked about earlier, it's a really important game for both of these teams, and I'm sure they'd both like to walk away with a win. So it comes down to a shootout, and we'll see if Maddie Beck can stop the skill of the Team Alberta shooters.
Here's the thing that Alberta might have going for them. They've already had like 6 or 7 breakaways on Maddie Beck.
They've had their fair shot, they know. I hope I don't see any of them try to deke to the blocker side.
It has not worked. The deke to the blocker side of Maddie Beck has been a closed door so far here. The one breakaway goal they scored on, Woznovich went in and put it upstairs. She's a right-handed shot. She went over the glove of Maddie Beck, who has stopped 41 of 44 so far in this game, which has been sensational. Group B right now looks like this. BC is 2-0. They've got 6 points. Is it Manitoba or Ontario? Ontario's got 3 points. They're 1-1. And then we've got the battle here between Alberta and Nova Scotia. And we'll see what ends up happening here as the shootout looms. Tied at 3, and it's been a significant advantage for Alberta so far. 44-23. They're going to clean the ice here quickly. We'll come back with the shootouts. Overtime, not enough. Shootout just around the corner. Alberta, Nova Scotia.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Everyone agrees plastics do not agree with our oceans, rivers, or anywhere in the environment. Please be responsible while enjoying the games. By Finning Canada, proud partner of the Canada Winter Games and our athletes. By Driving Force, vehicle rentals, sales, and leasing, proud to be the fleet provider for Canada's Winter Games. By ATCO, proud sponsor and official energy provider of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. And by the Government of Canada, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
While we wait for the shootout to get underway, let's head to some more highlights. Canyon Ski Resort Women's Big Final Snowboard Cross. Riders from Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, and Scotia. It's a close race right to the finish, but Anna Gagne barely getting ahead as she wins gold. Let's go to the men's side now. Border Cross Big Final. Riders from British Columbia, Quebec, and 2 from Ontario. It's Anthony Gervais-Marcoux, who makes a final quarter with speed and celebrates the win with his Quebec teammates. Well, coming up on Friday, the Tim Hortons Brier, live from Brandon, Manitoba, as the country's top men's curling teams battle under one roof in pursuit of the most famous trophy in curling. Coverage begins with a wild card game at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on TSN 1 and 4. As promised, the shootout between Team Alberta and Team Nova Scotia.
Welcome back to the Centrium in Red Deer, everyone. Dustin Nielsen and Blair Turnbull with you as we get set for a shootout to decide this game between Alberta and Nova Scotia. And on the Alberta side of things, I mean, I would think we probably see Wozniewicz, we probably see Weiss, we probably see Serdachny. I mean, all these players were sensational in this game for Alberta, weren't they?
They were all amazing, and those are the 3 that I would pick. Joma also had a great game. She scored the first goal for Team Alberta. But yeah, those 3 players you named have been spectacular, and they've all created a lot of offense for Team Alberta, and I'm sure they're going to be the ones that we see here in the shootout.
All right. For Alberta, the shooters will be Serdachny, Wozniewicz, and Markowski, the defenseman who had that breakaway. So she's already had a crack at Maddie Beck. And on the other side, we're not sure of the order yet, but it'll be Tiffany Hill, Kara McLean, and the captain, Maggie Burbidge, who may just come in and hammer a slapper from the hash mark. She likes to shoot it so much. So it'll be 3 shooters, and then, of course, sudden death shooters if we can't get it decided by the 3 here. Maddie Beck has been tested on a number of breakaways tonight. You know Caroline Gosling very well, having coached her. How's she on breakaways?
She's good. Like I said before, she's quite small, so she doesn't take up a big amount of the net, but she moves really, really well. She's very athletic.
It'll be Danielle Serdachny, who tied this game at 3. She will be our first shooter against Maddie Beck, who stopped 41 of 43, and really the story of this game. Now she's going to be put to work one more time here for Nova Scotia if they're going to knock off Alberta. Serdachny picks it up, brings it in, hash marks, hangs onto it, and outweighted by Maddie Beck. Beck really gave Serdachny nowhere to shoot.
Yeah, Serdachny, she took the puck from the left side to the right side. She didn't have very many shooting options, that's for sure. Maddie Beck doesn't give up too many holes. You'll see she covers up high, and then she moves well with her pads, so there's not much space in the net.
Tiffany Hill, the first shooter for Nova Scotia, with some speed. She'll bring it in over the blue line, forehand, and that's denied by Gosling as she got a blocker on it, I believe. She did. Good read by the goaltender there.
That's a good read. I like Hill's idea to try a shot first, but it's a great save.
Wozniewicz, awesome. She has scored on a breakaway in this game. A little leg kick, not enough to fool Maddie Beck. She got her pads down and denied Wozniewicz.
Similar move to Serdachny there, where she goes from left to right. I think a bit more 5-hole was open there. If she had slid it through there, that might have been an option, but otherwise, Maddie Beck is very good on breakaways.
Nova Scotia captain now, Maggie Burbidge. Can she give her team an advantage? Walks in with a shot, denied by Gosling. As Burbage tried to shoot that one from about 8 feet out, Gosling up to the task.
If you have a shot like Burbage, I think that's something that you need to take advantage of on a breakaway. So in a shootout like this, you're going to see her come down and snap it.
Stephanie Markowski, who was stopped on a breakaway in overtime, fires this one home. A rocket beats Maddie Beck inside the post. And Alberta now will have a chance to win it.
She picked that corner. She knew she wasn't going to go for the deep, so that shot low glove is great. She finds the hole off the post and in.
Cara McLean needs to score here for Nova Scotia. Caroline Gosling looking for a stop for the win, and she cannot do it.
That's a great shot by McLean.
McLean goes upstairs.
Changes her speed and goes high blocker on a goaltender who's small like Gosling, as those top corners might open up.
Sudden death shooters now, and I believe it'll be Nova Scotia who will shoot first in the sudden death 1-for-1. And it will be McLean who just scored. She's gonna go again. Can she make it 2 in a row here against Gosling? Just beat her over the blocker, top corner. Will she try it again? Will she deke this time? McLean walking in, this time a backhander, and she scores. Looks like it snuck past the glove of Caroline Gosling.
It's a smart play by Cara McLean to switch up her move. I'm sure as the goalie you might anticipate the forward to come in and do the same move twice if it's successful the first time, but to switch it up like that, I'm sure threw the goalie for a loop, and she was able to finish it off.
Cassie Bettenall needs to score to keep it alive, but it'll almost be fitting if Maddie Beck can win it right here. Bettenall puts on the brakes, slides it home, 5-hole, just snuck it through, and we'll head to another round.
That is a beautiful goal for Team Alberta. Fakes far side and goes 5-hole. It's another way to beat Beck, I guess. That was a great goal.
Here's Cara McLean again. 2 for 2 in the shootout so far. Will she make it 3 for 3? Not this time. Gosling. 3rd time's a charm. Makes the big stop there, and now a chance to win it for Alberta.
Shooting for Team Alberta, number 18,
Alaya Joma opened the scoring for Alberta. We'll look to finish things off here. Joma walks in slowly. Can't beat Beck, blocker side. Excellent battle we've got on our hands here, eh?
It is quite the battle going back and forth. That's a great save by Beck off the end of her stick, it looks like there.
Avi Adam for Nova Scotia. Walks in, a little fake and a backhand, and spreading out there, Gosling took away the bottom part of the net. And it'll be another chance to win it here for Stephanie Markowski.
So I don't think we've seen a Nova Scotia forward try the backhand blocker move on Gosling there, so that's a great try.
Markowski shot and scored on her first attempt. Cuts wide, now into the middle, another shot, and she scores! It trickles through the legs of Maddie Beck, and Alberta will get past Nova Scotia in a shootout. And an excellent celebration too, as they're very excited. Blair, we were treated to an absolutely wonderful game.
That was quite the game. Lots of action back and forth, lots of action on the power play, lots of action on the penalty kill, and to end in a shootout, Maddie Beck stood on her head for Team Nova Scotia. Team Alberta had a lot of offensive firepower. All in all, it was a great game.
Markowski looked like it almost went a little bit too high with that 5-hole attempt. As Beck got a piece of it, she's embraced by her teammates here. She got a piece of it, but it trickled through and got across the line. So Alberta finds the 5-hole a couple of times on Maddie Beck in the shootout. And it is Alberta who outshot Nova Scotia 44-23, finally gets the winner in a shootout, 4-3 the final.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals, developing and manufacturing chemicals and plastic resins that make everyday life safer, healthier, and easier. By Hotels Red Deer, working as one to create a better destination experience. By IFR Workwear, family is your priority, your workwear is ours. By On the Run, proud sponsor of the Canada Winter Games. On the Run, making the most of every stop. And by Travel Alberta, wander within reach this winter.
The Canada Winter Games continues tomorrow with women's curling action. Nova Scotia taking on Ontario. Coverage begins at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on TSN 5. Well, both teams looking to respond after dropping their opener. This time around, it's Alberta, which picks up their first win of the tournament. We hope you enjoyed that exciting game at the Centrium. Just a taste of what has been an exciting time at the Canada Games in Red Deer, Alberta. We'll check in with you tomorrow for curling, Nova Scotia, Ontario. Have yourselves a great night.